How you doing?
I can't stop smiling.
That's perfect. Tim, how long you been embossing?
Been embossing too long. No, 2.5 years.
2.5 years. And
2.5 years.
You came from a decoration business or no?
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 No, no background. Just sales, 14 years. And had an opportunity to buy the machine and bought the machine and been doing it for 2 years.
Okay. I know you for a while already as my embossing customer.
Mm-hmm.
You got to tell me how much marketing you did.
0.
But how can you even say that?
Okay, I lied. I did 3 trade shows.
How long ago?
My first year I did 2 trade shows, spring and a fall, and then last year I did a fall trade show.
But how can you build the business on 3 trade shows? Well, first of all, what city are you in? Where do you live?
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Okay, so what's the population?
Probably just under 1 million.
Under 1 million. And your customers are?
Northern Alberta, Saskatchewan, a little bit of BC.
You don't sell retail, right?
No.
Who's your customer?
Agents, promotional agents.
And so I got to go back to this. You haven't done much marketing.
I don't even have a website yet.
And you just have like a simple brochure.
Simple brochure.
But what makes it work then? That's so against every rule that I practice. You got to market, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then you're the anomaly. But why?
I think it's the fact that we do really good work, and word's gotten out there that we have really good quality. And you know, I work with a couple companies that are big, Bob Doe Gloves and White Ridge, and they throw our name out there for debossing and decoration a lot. And when you have a good relationship with a company like that, you get a phone call every day. Hey, we talked to Bonnie at White Ridge. She gave us your number. So it's not that I don't want to do marketing and have a website. I've just been so busy, I haven't done it yet, and I will.
Okay, so we had a talk once about pricing, and people say to you, hey, this is more expensive than embroidery.
Right.
So how do you handle that?
Well, it's apples and oranges, right? And you can't sell the two together. You're always going to have people who want embroidery, and you're going to always want people who want to try embossing. And you got to sell it as 2 separate decorations. And I know you like this story, but you know, people will come to you and go, well, it's too expensive, or I can get it for $250 embroidered. And I say, well, that's a great deal. You should go get it done, because you know what? It's two separate decoration processes. We're handling each piece when we emboss or deboss, so we handle each piece. We don't put 12 onto an embroidery machine, so it's a totally different process. So that's why I think we can charge more and get away with more pricing, or a higher price than embroidery.
What kind of output do you have? You started the business part-time, right?
Right.
And you had a full-time career.
Right.
But so when would you do embossing? Like how many pieces could you get done? When did you do it?
Oh, depends. You know, sometimes we had jacket orders for 40, and we'd come in at 4 in the afternoon and work 3 till 7 at night. And
40 jackets
40
in 3
jackets.
hours?
Yeah, 3 hours. My dad and I just did 3,000 pair of gloves, so that's 6,000 gloves, and we did those in 3.5 days. They were 8-hour days. But
can you give me an idea of what that's worth, a job like that?
Oh, lots of money.
No, but when you charge, that was one customer or
One
many?
customer, yeah.
3,000 pair.
Yeah, we got.
But what would you charge for a hit for that?
$1.75 a pair.
A pair.
Yes. $1.75.
That's not bad for a couple of days worth of work.
Yeah, it's good. But there's always going to be jobs that are easier money, not easy money, but easier money, and there's going to be jobs that are a little more time consuming.
What's time consuming?
Well, when you're marking out a left chest, say on a garment, right? It's got to be on there straight. It's got to look good, right? And when you're doing a leather jacket, you're not just throwing it on the machine and hitting it. You got to make sure, it's lined up right. You've marked it right with your chalk line and your square, and then you line it up to your lasers, and you got to make sure nothing's underneath it, because.
What do you say it takes you for a leather jacket?
Oh, I think a leather jacket, once you get rolling on it, you could probably do a leather jacket every 2 minutes and get $10 a hit.
Wow. What do you like most about this business? The reason I'm trying to provoke out of you, you told me once, you talked about overhead, and like, tell me how many people you have working for you, and
Right. Got a couple employees right now, being that we're just getting into the business.
you mean you're getting in full-time versus
Full-time,
walking
yeah,
away from
yeah,
something else?
So full-time, we need to hire a person to obviously help us with the front end, the phones and quotes and things like that, and learn the embossing side of it, because I think everybody needs to learn how to emboss or deboss garments and know the limitations of each garment and how to do it and how much time it takes. So when they're quoting these jobs, they'll know if they can, give a better price or not. I'm sorry, the question was, what was the question you asked?
No, what do you like most about the business?
Yeah, that's right. I think the fact that we talked about there's no overhead, right? Yeah, we have an office, we have phone lines, internet, and we have a couple employees. Other than that, we don't inventory anything. Everything that comes in, and then everything, we deboss it and emboss it and it goes up. So outside of all the money I spent on marketing, I think that's what's unique about the business, is you don't have to inventory anything.
How much space do you need? Like, if you, let's say when you just originally started, before you had your office,
Right.
how much space do you really need to do this to get started?
When I first bought the machine, it was in the back of a garage bay. We were working in probably a 20 by 20 area, not even, and it was, to be comfortable, you need a little more space than that.
And that's just because the physical goods that come in,
yeah,
right?
the physical goods that come in, and you need tables that are at chest level, so you're not bending over, and to make it ergonomically correct for your employees, that they have tables to work at and unpack and deboss, and on the other side, you can pack up your goods and put them back into the boxes, and then they go out the door.
Okay, so how much physical space does the machine need?
Very low. I think the machine is probably 4 feet by 3 feet, so it's very small. So.
And noisy? What about noise issues?
No, get used to the hum.
Is it the hum of making money?
Hum of making money. I actually have a DVD player on the top of my machine, and sometimes when you're doing gloves, you can throw in a movie and watch a movie or something along that lines to pass the time.
Oh, okay. But you're doing, I mean, that's something you could hand off to somebody easily for a lot less money. You're worth a lot more, but you just do it because
Absolutely. I do it just because I'm part-time, but, my dad comes in and works for me, and I'm usually manning the phones and things like that.
Is it fair to say that it's a full-time business? The revenue is full-time.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's not a part-time home hobby anymore, right? It's the income is full-time already.
Full-time, absolutely.
And you went from, you bought a machine, so you went from zero, from ground up, to a full-time business.
Yeah.
In how many years, or?
Well, I think, it's probably a year and a few months.
What were you putting in time-wise at the beginning?